Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. Welcome, guys, from Symbiosis. You want to do a quick intro? I'll start off. FamiliarCow here from the Nine Realms team. I do BD and comms for THORChain and for Nine Realms.
Hello everyone. Yeah, uh, thanks for hosting this with huge AMA. Yeah, let me briefly introduce myself. I'm Igor. I'm head of BZ at Symbiosis. Today here with me is Nick, uh, one of our developers who was responsible for native BTC integration into Symbiosis, and also our CEO Bill will join soon. So yeah, happy to see you all guys here, and yeah, would be great uh, to make some noise about Symbiosis THORChain integration today. And yeah, let's start.
Yeah, so hey, good to have you guys on, and congrats on the new THORChain integration. So, do you want to do a quick run through and say what you guys have shipped so far, like what Symbiosis is, and then what you guys shipped with THORChain, and how people can use it, and we can kind of dive in from there.
Yeah,
And we can also have anyone from the audience up to ask questions anytime. So if you want to come up and speak, just request to come up. So
yeah,
yeah, I'd love to get a quick intro on what Symbiosis is and what you guys are doing.
for sure. Yeah. So in general, Symbiosis is a cross-chain IMM or cross-chain liquidity protocol that provides any-to-any token swaps across different L2, L1s, and non-EVM chains. So I mentioned that you can swap, let's say, some ETH from zk Sync era to, I don't know, like some USDC on Arbitrum Nova. And everything is done in just one click in your wallet with pretty good rates because you also connect on-chain liquidity, on-chain dexes and on-chain aggregators such as 1inch, OpenOcean, OKX Dex, and more. So yeah, that's what we're building. And recently, because we see huge demand on native BTC in the industry, we integrated THORChain for cross-chain swaps to native BTC. For now, only two. Yeah, soon we're gonna intro. I think like in a couple of weeks, also swaps from native BTC will be possible. So yeah, now you can also swap any tokens on 20 supported chains, including Tron, BNB, zkSync, and more, to native BTC via THORChain. So that is basically what we do. We have started building Symbiosis in 2021, and we managed to launch our first working version, our V1, in March 2022. So yeah, we're operating on the market in the mainnet almost for 2 years, and yeah, this is what we managed to build. And yeah, we believe in native BTC, in this huge demand on it, and that's why we decided to integrate THORChain. Yeah.
Yeah, us too. We're big believers in Bitcoin swaps. Obviously, is this your first non EVM route? So every other chain that's connected right now is all EVM chains. This is your first non EVM chain, just adding Bitcoin in.
Uh, actually, no. Actually, no. So we had native BTC integration before. I believe back in 2022, we had REN BTC integrated into Symbiosis. But you know what happened with these guys. So uh, uh, besides all like 19 EVM chains that we have our unique one chain, which is Tron, and that is actually a great source of volume for us because we're only one great working bridge that supports Tron, and with native BTC integration, we actually can access with non-DeFi users who mostly use only Tron, native BTC, Ethereum, and maybe BNB. So yeah, that's like so. Yeah, we had native BTC integrated before, and we also have Tron along like non-EVMs.
Yeah, I was actually kind of curious about Tron, especially. So, is that one of your highest volume chains? I'm kind of curious just which chains actually do the most volume for you guys. Like, where do you see the most activity? Is it like on ETH L2s, or is it on some of the smaller networks, or is a lot of it like
Yeah.
coming in and out of Tron? Because like at THORChain, the community is always debating like what chains to add next and where to go, and I guess just like getting some real data around like where volume actually is and where users want to go would be helpful. So yeah, I'm just kind of curious, like, do you get like, is Tron like one of your biggest non ETH L1 networks, or like where do you see the most volume coming through?
Yeah, so talking about volume, transactions, and unique addresses, I think ZK Sync is still leading the way in our protocol. Then when Tron goes after this. So yeah, Tron is already like second or third chain in terms of volume, and then like other L2 chains and the L1 go after them, like Arbitrum, Scroll, Linea, Optimism, and others. So yeah, but I think like ZK Sync is still leading the way. So, but yeah, we think that Bitcoin will outcome all of them, like in the next 3 or 6 months. Yeah.
Cool. And I'm sure you know that THORChain does more than just Bitcoin. Like we also have other UTXO chains. So I don't know if you guys have had discussion. Like obviously, there's a lot less demand for things like Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Doge, but I'm sure you guys know that that's also something that THORChain also supports and offers. So just throwing it out there that if that's something that you guys are interested in, then it's as easy as doing the integration for Bitcoin, just changing the output to Litecoin or to any of the other chains to make even more routes possible through THORChain.
Yeah, so we had an internal discussion about it, and we definitely have plans to integrate more, I can say, coins that don't have smart contracts, like Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and others. So we have definitely some plans for this. Now we just want to focus only on native BTC to kind of promote this integration across Bitcoin and non-Bitcoin community, so that you have this ability to make seamless cross-chain swaps to BTC or from BTC across 20 other supported blockchain networks. So yeah, we will integrate them for sure, but a little bit later. Yeah.
Cool. So your guys' plan is basically to kind of build one step at a time and just put like right now you can swap from any of your supported chains to Bitcoin, but you can't swap from Bitcoin. And then later in the future, the plan is to make it so you can swap from Bitcoin and just make it a more full-fledged integration, be able to go from one to the other, basically like have the bridge go both ways.
Yeah. So swaps from BTC will be available like very soon. Like I think in February or early March, it will be already available in Symbiosis. And talking about other coins, I think we have plans settled for Q3 right now. So yeah, by the end of this time, I think we'll be able to add Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, XRP support as well.
Awesome. Do you guys want to talk about your API at all? Like, like who uses your API? Like, how developers can start using your API, and like what exactly you can do with it. I'm sure people would definitely like to know how to use your guys' product to implement swaps into their own apps, dApps, wallets, and anything else, or even just who uses your API. Right now, just any kind of details about like the developer experience with Symbiosis.
Yeah, for sure. So in Symbiosis, we're trying to focus not only on retail users but also on partnerships integrations. That's why since 2022 we have API and SDK, both mobile and desktop. available. And among our clients are guys like Lee.fi, Socket, also Rubik Exchange, who else? Rango, which is like part of THORChain ecosystem as well, Dodo, and we're in pretty good touch with Trust Wallet, with Unisat Wallet, and other wallet providers. So I think with native BTC integration, we can boost up integrations there as well. So yeah, we have a lot of clients. Most of them are cross-chain aggregators. Since we're cross-chain liquidity protocol and we have our own liquidity, they just integrate us for like L2, L1 chains. But yeah, this BTC integration, like mainly like with Lee.fi, with Trust Wallet, I believe we can boost up integration with them. So yeah, I think that's like all major players that are currently using Symbiosis API on the market. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, it's been a big part of our strategy is just integrations, and obviously aggregators are a big part of that. Like a lot of there's a lot of wallets and dexes that use aggregators, like Rango, obviously one of the biggest in the space. And a lot of people use them for liquidity. So obviously great to have you guys in on the BD side of things, and hopefully that means that we can land some more wallet integrations, because that's just a huge driver of liquidity fees, and really what drives a lot of activity across the network, generates a lot of yield for LPs. So obviously, like any kind of wallet integrations that we can land off of off of you using your guys' API, and then like where you're already inside the wallets and things, start offering BTC swaps would be awesome.
Yeah, so talking about wallets, we are only in talks with them. So I had a talk with most of them recently, I think like this week. Then we announced our native BTC integration, and mostly all of them are really excited. And that's how we can boost up integration with them, because all wallets are also looking into providing decentralized cross-chain swaps for native BTC. And now I personally believe we are one of the most seamless solutions on the market that provides it. So yeah, we are working in this direction.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you have any thoughts on like THORChain DEX aggregation, because I know that's something you guys are doing to make it pretty seamless to swap cross chain. So like THORChain DEX aggregation makes it so you only need to sign one transaction to go multiple hops, which should make it pretty easy to do Bitcoin swaps. Like a lot of other aggregators like Rango, you need to sign multiple transactions, and it gets you cross chain, but there's still multiple steps that you need to go through to do that. But I believe you guys use just THORChain's native DEX aggregator, which really simplifies going cross chain, because you can just sign one transaction and then do it. So I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on that, or Eridanis, you got any just musings on DEX aggregation in the space, and how Symbiosis is using that?
Yeah, so everything on Symbiosis is done in just one click. Maybe sometimes in 2 clicks, yeah, because in some cases you need to firstly approve tokens. Like if we're talking about gas token, it's always 1 click experience for the user. So yeah, just sign one transaction and you can go cross chain across now 21 chains. So yeah, that's like our main advantage. One of our main advantages across our competitors, and like any to any token swaps as well. So because yeah, right now you can go you can swap to native BTC from any token which is supported on DEXs. on like I'm not talking about it's any token, because like you can use let's say like OP token from Optimism, you can use Arbitrum token from Arbitrum One, and just simply make a cross-chain swaps on native BTC. That's what we do, and that's how we simplify user experience a lot. So yeah, and THORChain help us a lot in this case, as well as 1inch, OpenOcean, and OKXDex, with also our partners for on-chain aggregation.
Yeah, the integration is super impressive. Like I didn't actually realize that like full cross chain from any EVM was kind of possible. And I was playing around with a lot of different routes, and going from ZK Sync, going from a token, not even like the native asset, but a token on ZK Sync to Bitcoin in one transaction was a seamless experience. Can you like talk about the technical implementation? So how does the bridging or cross chain work between like ZK Sync and Avalanche? Because I think the common connection point here between Symbiosis and THORChain is basically through the Avalanche pool.
Yeah.
So how do you get from like ZK Sync to Avalanche?
Sure. So when we talk about all technical stuff under the hood, firstly, for cross-chain swaps, we use our own liquidity and our own relayers network. So I can say, like, when you want to swap, let's say like USDC from ZK Sync to native BTC, the road will be like this. So firstly, we swap. Firstly, we bridge this USDC from ZK Sync to Avalanche using our own relayers and our own liquidity, and then USDC arrives on Avalanche. We use a method that we call cross-chain zap. Then as a next step, we interact with THORChain contracts. So, and after that, so because we're able to simply execute code data not only on source chain but also on destination chain, and after USDC is bridged to Avalanche, we interact with THORChain contracts, and then user gets his or her native BTC in a wallet. So yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, congratulations on that. I mean, it's just such a cool experience, and I think it's really the first time that users can go from really any EVM chain or L2 directly to Bitcoin in one transaction, to native Bitcoin. I haven't seen that anywhere else, so I really feel like this is a pretty monumental innovation.
Thanks. I already saw your tweet about it. Yeah, thanks for posting it.
Of course. So curious, like, I mean, I know, so the other way is way more complicated, right? Going, like, if we want to go Bitcoin to ZK Sync, that's much more challenging because Bitcoin, we have, transaction size limits. Like in the op return, you can only really support 80 characters. So I'm sure this isn't really fully on your roadmap right now, but one thing we are working on the THORChain side is this concept of memoless transactions, where you can register an intent for a transaction using the THORChain native Cosmos chain. So that the native Cosmos chain obviously doesn't have a memo size limit, so we can register an intent that will ultimately come from a Bitcoin address, and that intent could include a swap out through Symbiosis to ZK Sync, and then once a user posts, from a certain amount of Bitcoin from the Bitcoin network, that intent will be executed. So that's just something to keep in mind from your side, is that hopefully in a few months we'll have that ability and we can go the other way as well.
Yeah, of course. Like I'm also very bullish on intents. And we'll be waiting once you release it, guys. So yeah, but as I mentioned before, like swaps from native BTC to EVMs and Tron will be available very soon. So we're in talks with biggest wallets on native BTC, and I think we will make collaboration with Uniswap, Xverse, XDeFi, OKX wallet, and more to provide like the most seamless experience for the users. Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to add with memoless transactions is just abstracting away the kind of wallet connection part of things, because obviously, like on Symbiosis right now, everything basically being an EVM chain, and Tron also being supported by the wallets that work with EVM really simply.
Hi there.
It's normally just
here.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Hey, Bill. Yeah. I think Bill, our CEO, have joined. Yeah. Sorry for interrupting you. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so just finishing this point real quick. Like pretty much every chain on Symbiosis right now being able to be supported by generic EVM wallets like MetaMask or whatever else people use for their browser extensions, and memoless transactions being able to abstract that away to make it so you don't need to connect a separate wallet for a Bitcoin transaction. And so not only does it enable DEX aggregation through Bitcoin more easily and being able to make that second jump through the DEX aggregator without running into a memo op-return size limit, but it would also make it so you can just send a transaction from any Bitcoin wallet without needing any kind of connection. The UX that's being pictured a lot is just some kind of QR code where it's all registered in the background, but then it's just a QR code where you just send a transaction to, and obviously that could be from any wallet. So it kind of abstracts away the wallet connection piece of things, where it gets complex when you're trying to connect multiple wallets to one website, and it just makes things a lot more complicated when a lot of EVM wallets don't support Bitcoin, so there's multiple wallet connections involved, but that would kind of abstract away. So it would be kind of a two-pronged improvement there, both on the DEX aggregation side and then just like simplifying the wallet side of things.
Yeah, that sounds very interesting, and I think we should look at it deeper. So if I got it right, that's more like a way to attract more non-DeFi and maybe like Web2 users. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, I think of it even as just simplifying things for DeFi users, because it's like, today you think about who is 90% of DeFi, and that's people using EVM chains. A lot of them Ethereum, ETH2s, and they're used to just one wallet connection, and maybe probably the only people that are used to a UX otherwise is people using THORChain, because they're used to connecting a Bitcoin wallet or something and doing a swap. So it's like the UX isn't quite there yet for multiple wallet connections, and things get kind of messy on the browser level, but it should make it a lot easier for people to just you bring your own security, you bring your own wallet, you can still hold your Bitcoin on your ledger and and still make a swap.
Yeah, that sounds really, really, really interesting, and we'll keep it in mind, this functionality that THORChain provides. So sounds cool.
If you can make it possible with such wallets like Trust Wallet, it will be amazing, like killer feature.
Yeah, well, with Trust Wallet, you can swap from directly in the wallet, so it's not really necessary to do some kind of wallet connection with Trust. Although they do have that functionality, but like when you're already in the wallet, that experience is kind of abstracted away because the wallet can just sign transactions for you.
Yeah, good.
That's true.
Good point.
Yeah. So who's coming on from the Symbiosis account? Sorry, I missed your name. If you want to just do a quick intro and.
Yeah, let me briefly explain my role in Symbiosis. My name is Will. I'm CEO of the product, and actually we are very excited being a partner of such a well-known brand in the industry, THORChain. And actually the hot topic that we would like to discuss is a Taproot support, which has recently been announced. and we are waiting for such functionality actually. I'm just wondering what's your the roadmap and the timeline for this feature.
Yeah, I can speak to that. So Taproot support is a little tricky. It's something that we're scoping out right now. I think it will require a hard fork of THORChain just because the vaults currently can't sign Taproot transactions. I actually need to verify that, but that's the current understanding. THORChain has hard forked before, and we've been kind of saving up for our next one. Certain tasks that we need a hard fork for. So hopefully that will happen. Sometime this year. I can't give you an exact timeline on that, but we are actively looking into it, and that obviously is becoming and more a demand in this space. So that's something that we're definitely going to do, and hopefully we can get that scheduled for sometime this year. But we'll keep you updated for sure.
Yeah, devs have been talking about a hard fork for a while, and it's mostly just been put off because it's just cleanup things, which is kind of lower on the priority list. But obviously, the major thing that a hard fork would allow is Taproot support. So I mean, it's definitely requested by you guys and by a lot of other wallets, especially ones that that do ordinals and things. So it's definitely on the list of priorities, being that Taproot is just growing in popularity so much. And in my opinion, definitely should be a high priority getting Taproot support on there, because it just opens up more and more wallet users, and especially people that are interacting on chain very often, which is exactly the kind of user that THORChain wants to serve.
Yeah, thanks for the clarification. And what's your opinion on the inscription market and BRC20 tokens in general?
I think it's really interesting, and I think it's going to continue to gain traction. It's also something that we've kind of talked about, and we're actually working and talking with a few teams that are heavily in that BRC20 space. And I think, in the same way that we extended our EVM integrations with DEX aggregation, there could be ways to extend our Bitcoin integration with inscriptions. And so that's something that we're also having an eye on. And I think, with some collaborations with teams in that space, we'll be able to kind of expand into that functionality.
Yeah, there's been a lot of teams like OrderSwap, I believe, has announced that they are going to be using THORChain for some cross-chain liquidity, and I think it's just powerful using THORChain as just the medium of bringing in users from other chains. Like the way I think about THORChain is just the crypto native on and off ramp, where you have the user on one chain, you need to on ramp them to your single chain wallet, whatever it is, whether it's like inscriptions, ordinals, which I guess is the same thing. Or DeFi applications or anything, you're going to need some kind of way to move users cross-chain. And obviously THORChain being, the biggest way of going from Ethereum, where obviously there's, many users who are very active on chain and are very willing to try new things like ordinals, and are very interested in just experimenting and playing around. It just makes it pretty powerful for THORChain to be the on and off ramp of going back and forth. So I think it's going to be a big driver of just people using THORChain in the future, just people wanting to experiment in the ordinal space, and curious to see what kind of stuff is developed on there. There's definitely some marketplaces springing up out of the woods right now, but we'll see really what people stick around to do. Is there anything interesting that catches your eye in the ordinal space, or things that you're playing around with?
Yeah, so thanks for the answer. Yeah, so regarding ordinals and BRC20 market, we're quite bullish on it, and we're in a waiting mode to see you guys live and support it. So we're planning to become the first native cross-chain protocols for inscriptions and BRC20. So we definitely have plans for this. So yeah, hopefully we can attract more users to this ecosystem from all the chains that we support right now.
Yeah, I mean, is that something you guys are supporting, like with your own liquidity, like sort of how you do all of your other swaps, or are you like looking into some different solutions in the ordinal space, like aggregation, or is it something that you're going to make your own pools and your own protocol for?
We're not sure actually, so we're still discussing internally on what we should do better, like become a sort of aggregator for this, or create our own solution. So yeah, I just can't tell you right now what which way we'll go with it.
Yeah, I mean, at least from our side, it's always made more sense to just stick with the aggregation at first, and then if if there's sufficient demand, then it makes sense to build into the protocol itself. So like right now, it's definitely like a white hot thing, and people are very interested in it. But obviously, there'd be a huge lift to start adding things like first we need Taproot, but then actually adding support for BRC20s and inscriptions and things would take a ton of dev work, which is it's unclear what the future is. But just starting out, just providing liquidity to make it possible for others to do that is a great way to kind of just test the waters and see where things are before committing fully into putting a ton of resources into developing a solution, which we don't know obviously what the future of that kind of protocol is, but at the very least we have the tools today to provide liquidity for people to do so on other protocols, which are a little bit more scrappy and bespoke to ordinals specifically. So I mean that's kind of been our strategy with EVM since we launched the DEX aggregator, because it's like obviously we have a lot of native asset liquidity, but ERC20s and the long tail assets, they're always going to have more liquidity on other networks like Uniswap or just any of the long tail assets, like the AVAX dexes on Avalanche. So trying to bring in our own liquidity is always going to be more difficult than just aggregating. So just a lot of the time, I feel like outsourcing is just the way to go, and just you provide the core product, like you guys provide the aggregator, and then others have the liquidity, and then it's a match made in heaven where you're not wasting all your effort, putting all your eggs in that basket when you're just providing the backbone to aggregate someone else.
Yeah, sounds logical.
So yeah, we can also open it up to community questions if people want to come up on stage and ask Symbiosis any questions about their product or where they're going in the future. I definitely like to get an idea on what your guys' plans are besides just THORChain, just to get a better idea of like what you guys are developing, like what your roadmap is, and where you see Symbiosis going in the next year or two. Like is it new networks? Is it different functionalities? Is it just integrations? What's your guys' strategy and roadmap going forward?
Yeah, so native BTC actually will be on the first place this year, I think. So besides native BTC, of course, I have plans to support more chains that are appearing on the market, like Tycho, Shardium, THORChain, and more. So all of the chains are definitely in our plans, and we plan to support them. Also, we have plans to popularize our cross-chain ZAP feature. If you're not familiar with it, it allows you to add liquidity in any sort of DeFi protocols on any chains with any token on any chain. So we can think about like we can provide liquidity to, let's say, Aave on Polygon with any token on Avalanche or ZK-Sync. So that's feature that we're planning to focus on more, and Besides that, we have plans to release our proof of stake nodes. So currently, all relays are our partners and investors, and we're gonna open it for our community who have some amount of SS tokens. So our layers will be public, and everyone will be able to run a node in Symbiosis. So, and yeah, I think we'll soon come up with Symbiosis version 3. So currently we have the second version of our protocol, and we definitely have some plans to improve it and release Symbiosis v3. So I think that's all plans that we have right now. And yeah, and I think that's all, yeah.
Awesome. I just invited up Crypto Sailor. How you doing?
Hey, thanks again for having me on. Really great to be on another THORChain space and learn more about Symbiosis. Probably like myself, many people are not able to follow everything that's happening in crypto, so I'm learning more about it as we go. And my first questions, I was listening and hearing you talk about the source of liquidity and that the markets, or whatever you would like to call them, function on your own network. So I'd like to understand a little bit more about the risk that there would be to the liquidity, what safeguards are being put into place for that, as well as describe maybe a little bit more about the risk of the network itself. And I have maybe one question after that also. Thank you.
Okay, maybe Will, you want to go ahead with this technical question? Will, are you here? Okay, maybe I can take it to myself. Yeah, so when we talk about our layers, right now they run on proof of authority mechanism, which is secured by MPC and TSS technology. So among our validators are mostly our investors and partners, like Binance Labs, Bixin Ventures, Blockchain.com, Spartan Labs, and more. So again, like I'm not a technical guy, so I can't tell it deeper on how it works, but it definitely explained in our docs. One cool things that we have regarding like additional points of security is that one node is run by Symbiosis Team, and we call this node like a veto node. And in case of like most of the nodes start sending fraud transactions, this node can block like all of them. So yeah, that's additional point of security. Maybe Nick has something to say about it. Is also here.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, so actually you're absolutely correct. This is a proof of authority protocol currently, but we're on a road to proof of stake. And the veto node is basically a security node that can't spend anything locked inside the protocol, but can prevent some malicious actions by other parties. Something like that. Yeah.
All right, I think that really helps understanding that. Thank you very much. My only follow-up would be, what do you see as the primary competition? How do you address, competing in that market that you're in? What are your ideas around how it is that, DeFi and decentralized applications should be competing in a market, even with centralized exchanges? It's a very different value proposition between, let's say, CeFi, THORChain, and even with proof of authority with Symbiosis. And and what do you think of the idea, and maybe that relates to what you see with happening with some of the consternation. There's been some issue in the THORChain community, and interested to know your perspective on how it is that you're trying to price yourself into that market as well.
Yeah, so when we talk about competitors and our competitors, I mean, among bridges, among crossing protocols, I think we definitely provide some unique routes, and definitely Tron and native BTC are in. And of course, besides it, we also provide like most popular routes like on THORChain, L1s, and etc. Since Symbiosis has a concept of cross-chain IMM we're able to provide much better rates and transaction speed for the users. And you can see on how it works, let's say, on popular aggregators, where we're actually winning in the most of routes. Yeah. So besides that, we provide one of the most seamless UX and UI among all cross-chain protocols. So where it's possible to select any token on one chain and any token on another, and just make it one-click experience. So when we talk about like centralized solutions, I think in this case, DeFi applications already outcome centralized solutions in some cases. So when we talk about cross-chain protocols, when we talk about perpetuals, DEXs, and more, so I think step by step, more volume and transactions will start going to DeFi and DeFi applications. I mean, so that's just a matter of time. Like personally, I only use DeFi protocols, so I don't have money on centralized exchanges. And yeah, I think it's just a matter of time. So even then, everyone will understand like positive things of decentralized solutions instead of using centralized. I think like everyone will start using, like most of the users will start using only them. Yeah, we already see the growth since like 2017 or 2021. So yeah, like it should happen soon. When you just need to wait.
Thank you very much. I do, absolutely agree that I think everybody who is up to speed with what's going on in crypto understands interchain is the future. Horizontal scalability gives us best scalability in the ecosystem. And thanks very much for going through some of this with us here, for helping to learn about Symbiosis and THORChain. And I'll hope to myself, I host a show, and I hope to be talking more about this kind of interchain thing coming up also later this evening. I really appreciate everybody, and best of luck to everybody in this space, and we'll see you again next time.
Thanks for the question. Yeah.
Thanks, Crypto Sailor.
Thank you.
Add Hansa, and then if anyone else would like to come up and ask questions before we wrap up, we got just a couple minutes left here. So if anyone would like to come up and ask the Symbiosis team some more questions, then please just request. Be waiting here. Doesn't seem like it's adding up Hansa. Oh, that just failed. Cool. Were there any other topics that you guys wanted to talk about at the Symbiosis team while we're waiting to see if anyone else wants to come up?
I just want to tell that I'm really amazed by the technology that is inside the THORChain, and I wish. I want to wish you luck with hard forking to Taproot version. I think it will be a very huge task to do, and we're really waiting for it.
Yeah, so it's pretty high priority for you guys. It's not actually. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a huge task, but it's obviously takes a lot of bandwidth away from like other priorities. So it's just figuring out where to balance the priorities of do we work on do the devs work on new features and things like that are P0, or is it all hands on a hard fork, which has obviously a very different kind of return, with just that more being a cleanup thing, but then also we get Taproot. But either way, it's something that they're hoping to do in the next couple months. But definitely make sure that the devs are aware of the demand for Taproot, especially from our aggregation partners like you guys, because it's important to be able to serve all of the all the users that want to use THORChain, and not excluding huge swaths of people who are using the new address format. So thanks for making that known.
Yep, thanks for creating such a great product. I don't know from which things we need to discuss more. I think we talked about everything. If anyone have any questions, feel free to raise a hand and ask them.
Yep, I think that's it. Don't see any more hands being raised, but hey, thank you guys so much for coming out. Obviously, a great first step for the integration here, and we'll definitely keep you up to date with what's going on with Taproot and with Memolist, because obviously those can make a big difference in your guys' product and how you are serving Bitcoin swaps in the future. Also look forward to working with you guys to bring some of these swap routes to wallets, other aggregators, and however we can help on the BD front. It's definitely that would be great. So thank you guys, and I guess we can wrap it up.
Yeah, thanks again.
Any closing thoughts?
Thanks again, and have a great day, guys.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
See you.